Remember this?
South Africa. South Africa funa ukwazi imali yayo ibuya nini.
Or this?
Remove us, we are not going anywhere.
Pay back the money. Pay back the money. Pay back.
You remember the famous line, "Pay back the money," which was directed to the former president, Mr. Jacob Zuma, by the EFF. Little did the EFF know that they were opening a can of worms which would implicate their own leaders in one of South Africa's greatest bank scandal, known as the Great Bank Heist. South African citizens and taxpayers lost over 2.3 billion rands in the Great Bank Heist.
Ndikotobudzisa zvore zvino nerina 370,000 yambulungano ridoiwanana.
They lost everything to greedy people over the 3 years that the scandal had unfolded. So I spoke to a few people, a lot of them elderly folk who had put their life savings.
This all came to light when the former president revealed that he had obtained over 7 million rands from VPS Bank to pay back part of the money used for upgrades. On this particular episode, we are going to put the case against Floyd Shivambu in the court of public opinion. The plaintiff is the Daily Maverick journalist and the defendant is the deputy president for EFF. To understand this story which is about to unfold, you first need to understand the origins of VPS Bank and the events that took place leading to its liquidation. VPS Mutual Bank was formed by a group of the first black chartered accountants. These guys resembled black excellence and they had achieved the epitome of success. Initially, it was formed as Vendor Building Society in 1982 and became a mutual bank in 1992. By definition, a mutual bank is a bank not owned by one individual or one entity. It is owned by its depositors who have the right to participate in a general meeting. By 2016, the bank had around 30,000 depositors, with all its deposits totaling 800 million. In 2017, the bank planned to list on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. However, this never happened. Reports about the bank being broke began to emerge in 2016, when a number of its customers claimed that they were unable to withdraw their savings. Customers were being told by VPS Bank that there was no money. It was revealed that billions had been looted out of the bank, effectively robbing scores of elderly people, poor and hardworking citizens.
Amount is nowhere close to what people initially were looking at, but by far exceeds that. And
in total, the bank was reported to have lost over 1.5 billion rands worthy of funds. Only 14 people have been charged and accused of stealing 2.3 billion rands from the bank and are facing charges of corruption, fraud, money laundering and theft. Of those 14 accused, none of the EFF leaders is part of the group and none of them is being formally investigated. But the question is, was Floyd Shivambu part of this corruption? Did he benefit from VPS funds, or is it just a smear campaign to derail their political ambitions? Somewhere, somehow, one journalist, Pauline Vanve, who works for Daily Maverick, feels Floyd Shivambu is involved in the VPS loot and should be locked inside prison cells for the longest time. She claims Mr. Floyd Shivambu received more than 10 million rands of VPS loot through his brother Brian Shivambu. In an article released in the Daily Maverick, she laid her evidence against the EFF deputy president in 6 parts. The first part, she details that Floyd Shivambu received at least 1.84 million rands in VPS loot, which was washed through Schamega Projects and Grand Azania using 23 payments. This money was then transferred to the EFF's 2 bank accounts. Grand Azania and Schamega Projects are 2 companies owned by Floyd Shivambu's young brother, Brian Shivambu. The second evidence is that in those 6 months, Shivambu received over 2 million rands, which was more than his salary from Parliament. Here he received around 44,000 rands per month, which along with 3 payments came to a total of 260,448 rands. Shivambu never reported any additional income to Parliament. The third evidence shows that hundreds of thousands of rands were transferred from VPS Bank to Grand Azania to Shivambu's FNB Private Wealth bank account within 3 days. The fourth evidence shows 23 payments of VPS loot that could be tracked right into Shivambu's FNB Private Wealth account. It also shows an additional 61 payments totaling 4,269,000 rands, which moved into Shivambu's FNB Private Wealth account. The fifth evidence is money received by Shivambu's family. It shows that his wife received at least 555,087 rands in cash and a 400,000 rands deposit towards a Mercedes-Benz for her benefit. More cash was spent on Shivambu's children for payments described as child support. The case against Floyd Shivambu is purely based on evidence that I've detailed above. He has maintained his innocence and refuted all the allegations against him. He has also denied receiving any 10 million rands from his brother.
Any 10 million that came into my account. So the misleading information which Daily Maverick has is deliberate. It's part of the whole propaganda machinery to do all of these things. We can challenge this whole Van Veek to bring us the so-called evidence that I received 10 million. It's pure insanity.
To play the devil's advocate in defense of Floyd Shivambu, firstly, he has not been charged for any wrongdoing by the National Prosecuting Authority, as there is no hard evidence that he was involved in VPS corruption. If he had any involvement with the bank, it would have been on business-to-client basis. Also, there has been no proof to back up all the accusations made against him. If you look deep into the accusations laid against him, you will see that there is no direct connection to Floyd Shivambu with VPS Bank. Finally, one has to look closely into the tone of the article released in the Daily Maverick. Clearly, it wanted to paint a picture of wrongdoing on the part of Floyd Shivambu. There is bias and poor journalism on the side of Daily Maverick. As much as Daily Maverick has won many awards for certain achievements in the media space, it is not short of controversy. It has its fair share of pitfalls. One such criticism is from an accomplished South African millionaire addressing his 200,000 followers on TikTok and 30,000 followers on Facebook. Blasted the Daily Maverick, claiming that it doesn't report any good on black achievers.
Type of narrative around black business. They attack various black people. White people are holy and sacred for them. They're never to be attacked. Not that I want to attack them, and this is not a racist